Aging is natural, it's inevitable, and despite what society might suggest, it's not something to fear. But as the years pass, the body and mind undergo subtle changes, and not all of them are flattering or comfortable to talk about. There are things that happen with age that most people don't mention in polite conversation. They're not dramatic, they don't make headlines, but they slowly creep in, affecting daily life, relationships, confidence, and well-being. Today, we're uncovering the real, raw, and often unpleasant truths about what seniors do as they age, not out of shame, but out of understanding. Because knowledge is power, and if we can talk about these things honestly, we can face them with dignity and strength. Some of these behaviors may surprise you. Others might hit very close to home. But stay with me, because at the end of this video, you'll walk away with not just awareness, but solutions, and maybe even a new perspective on aging itself. Let's begin. 1. Repeating the same stories over and over. One of the first things many people notice in older loved ones is the habit of repeating stories, sometimes the same one multiple times in a single conversation. This behavior isn't meant to be annoying or inconsiderate. In fact, it often stems from a mix of memory decline, emotional significance, and even loneliness. Repetition can be a sign of mild cognitive changes, like short-term memory lapses. But it can also be the brain's way of revisiting moments that feel meaningful or safe. Seniors may dwell on earlier decades, times when they felt most alive, relevant, or in control. In some cases, repetition is a way of seeking validation. Did this matter? Do you remember too? Am I still seen? While it can be frustrating for listeners, understanding the emotional root behind this habit helps foster more patience. Instead of tuning out, gently guide the conversation to something new or build on the story in a new way. This shows respect while keeping the dialogue fresh and engaging. 2. Withdrawing from social circles. Another often misunderstood change is social withdrawal. As people age, their energy shifts. Socializing can become physically draining. Hearing loss, mobility issues, or cognitive fatigue can make interactions feel like more work than joy. Combine that with the fear of being a burden or the grief of losing longtime friends, and it becomes easier to simply stay home. But isolation doesn't just shrink social calendars, it shrinks the soul. Loneliness in seniors is now being called an epidemic. Studies show it increases the risk of heart disease, depression, and even early death. Sometimes, seniors pull away not because they want to be alone, but because they're waiting for someone to pull them back. As a society, we need to create more age-friendly spaces. And as individuals, we need to check in, not with obligation, but with genuine curiosity and care. 3. Hoarding or clinging to objects. A cluttered home is often seen as a nuisance. But when a senior begins collecting or refusing to part with items, there may be deeper meaning behind it. Hoarding or sentimental attachment to objects is not just a habit. It's a way of holding on to relevance, identity, and memories. Each item tells a story, represents a time, a person, a role once held. Letting go can feel like erasing part of oneself. In some cases, hoarding stems from fear. Fear of needing something later, fear of waste, or fear of scarcity. For those who live through war, depression, or hard times, this mindset is ingrained. While excessive clutter can become a safety issue, shaming or forcing a purge can cause emotional harm. A compassionate approach involves understanding the why, not just removing the what, for oversharing or speaking without filters. Another shift often seen in aging is a reduction in social filters. Seniors may comment bluntly on weight, appearance, politics, or personal matters, sometimes causing embarrassment in social settings. But this behavior often isn't meant to offend. As people age, the brain's frontal lobe, which helps manage impulse control, undergoes changes. Additionally, decades of social experience may lead to a mindset of, I've earned the right to speak my truth. In many cultures, elders are revered for their candor. But in others, this can clash with modern norms of sensitivity. Instead of correcting every slip, we can try to understand where it's coming from and gently reframe conversations with kindness and grace. Because behind every bold comment is usually a deeper feeling needing to be heard. 5. Neglecting personal hygiene. Perhaps one of the most uncomfortable topics to address is hygiene. As seniors age, some begin to bathe less frequently with the same clothes or avoid grooming tasks they once prioritized. This change can be due to many reasons: physical pain, fear of falling in the shower, cognitive decline, or even depression. In other cases, it's about energy conservation, choosing between a shower or saving energy for a doctor's appointment. Sadly, poor hygiene is often misread as laziness when it's actually a red flag of a deeper issue. Rather than confrontation, loved ones should offer support, say for bathing tools, scheduled routines, or help in a respectful way that preserves dignity. 6. Becoming more suspicious or paranoid. Some seniors begin to express fear that others are stealing from them, talking behind their backs, or manipulating them. While sometimes based on truth, many times the suspicion is unfounded and distressing. Age-related cognitive changes, memory lapses, or feelings of vulnerability can create a sense of losing control. And when control slips, the mind looks for explanations. Unfortunately, this can lead to conflict, especially within families. Trust fractures and relationships suffer. What's needed isn't argument, but empathy, and often a medical checkup to rule out underlying conditions such as dementia, medication side effects, or hearing loss that might contribute to paranoia. 7. Developing unusual eating habits. As taste buds change and digestion slows, many seniors start eating in ways that seem strange to others. They may skip meals altogether, eat the same food daily, or add excessive salt or sugar. This isn't always about preference. It can be due to changes in sense of taste or smell, difficulty chewing, or even the emotional comfort certain foods provide. Food can become both a battleground and a retreat. Some may eat in secret. Others might insist on outdated habits, resisting dietary advice. And some forget to eat entirely. What appears to be stubbornness may be rooted in fear, confusion, or even past trauma around food. Compassionate conversations and access to easier, nutritious meals can gently guide seniors back to healthier routines. 8. Talking about death. A lot. For many people, hearing a senior constantly mention death is uncomfortable. They may bring it up casually. Funeral plans, who gets what, who will remember them. Others speak about it with humor or resignation. But this isn't morbid. It's honest. When you live over 6 decades, death is no longer an abstract idea. It's a presence. Friends pass. Spouses fade. Your own body reminds you of time daily. Talking about death is often a way to prepare, to unburden, to leave clarity behind, to be heard while you still have breath. If someone older wants to talk about their mortality, don't change the subject. Listen. It may be the most sacred conversation they have. 9. Resisting change or new technology. Many seniors show a deep resistance to new technologies, trends, or societal shifts. To younger generations, this can appear stubborn or outdated, but beneath it is often a fear of irrelevance or loss of control. Technology moves fast. For those not raised with it, the pace can feel intimidating and unforgiving. One wrong click can delete something important. One new platform can render everything unfamiliar again. And beyond tech, even cultural change can feel disorienting. Values, language, expectations, they shift so quickly that it can feel like the world has moved on without you. Instead of judgment, we need patience. Teaching slowly. Explaining why something matters. Including them, not out of obligation, but respect. 10. Becoming more emotional or easily upset. As emotional regulation changes with age, some seniors become more sensitive. They may cry more easily, get angry faster, or feel deeply hurt by things others barely notice. This isn't weakness. It's wear. Life adds up, the joys and the losses. And as the emotional walls thin, everything gets in a little deeper. Hormonal changes, loneliness, loss of independence, they all amplify emotion. And for those who spend decades being strong, the permission to feel openly may be new. What they need isn't correction. It's comfort, a gentle word, a reassuring touch, a moment of silence where they don't need to explain. Each behavior we've explored, whether it's repeating stories, withdrawing from social life, hoarding memories, speaking bluntly, neglecting hygiene, or becoming suspicious, isn't just a quirk. It's a whisper from within, asking for understanding. These moments, though unpleasant, are deeply human. They reflect pain, adjustment, loss, identity shifts, and a longing to remain visible and valued in a rapidly changing world. Together, these behaviors form a quiet language, one that says, "See me, hear me, I'm still here." And if we choose to listen instead of judge, if we approach with love instead of discomfort, we can transform these habits into opportunities for connection. To age is to change, but not to disappear, not to lose meaning. These truths deserve space, not shame. They deserve care, not correction. So whether you're living these moments yourself or witnessing them in someone you love, remember, this stage of life is not about decline. It's about depth. And when we hold space for all its complexities, we don't just respect age, we honor it. Thank you for watching, for listening, and for holding this conversation with an open heart. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to join a community that believes in dignity at every age. Aging isn't just a number. It's a process of becoming. And sometimes, it's a process of unraveling the roles, masks, and habits of a lifetime. These so-called unpleasant behaviors we see in seniors, they're not flaws. They're symptoms of a deeper journey. The body slowing, the mind recalibrating, the soul asking to be seen before it fades. If we meet these changes with embarrassment, we close the door to understanding. But if we meet them with compassion, we build a bridge between generations, between fears, between what was and what still can be. So if you're aging or love someone who is, remember this. You are not broken. You are not less. You are evolving. And everything you're going through deserves not silence, but voice. Not shame, but grace. Thank you for watching. And thank you for caring enough to see the full truth.
If this message touched you, inspired you, or simply made you think, then please consider supporting this channel. Like lets us know this content matters. Comment gives you a voice in the conversation. And a subscription that ensures you never miss a message meant just for you. We're building more than an audience here. We're building a community of strength, wisdom, and purpose. Thank you for being a part of it. I'll see you in the next video. Stay strong, stay grounded, and never forget, the most important pillar in your life is you.